So here I am making another orange flavored sorbet, and in this case I'm using Cara Cara oranges. I decided to try a recipe with Cara Cara because I really like Cara Cara oranges, mostly because of their flavor. It just tastes like a normal navel orange, but it does have that really interesting pink coloration, and I think they're extra juicy. So here I am peeling the orange that I've rinsed off any extra residue that's on the outside of the oranges, and I'm going to use 2 oranges for this recipe. Depending on the size of your orange, you'll just want to make sure on your Ninja Creami container that you don't go over the max fill line. And I'll just list out the recipe real quick and then I'll have it in the description. But basically it's 2 Cara Cara oranges that are peeled and diced, and then 3/4 of a cup of full fat oat milk and 1/4 of a cup of light agave nectar. And you can switch it out if you have another recipe that you want to try out, but just swap out. Instead of using oranges, you'll use the Cara Cara oranges. And you can see it just looks like a traditional navel orange, but it just a little bit darker, almost like a grapefruit, although it's not a grapefruit. It just has that pink ruby red grapefruit coloring. It just tastes like a normal navel orange. Actually, if I was to see if I could have a slightly different taste profile here, I would say it's not as tart as a regular navel, but I don't know if I'm just not, noticing something a little different that might not be accurate with maybe just the ones I've tried. But you can see here the coloring is so interesting. So I'm going through right now and just cutting it up and dicing it. And what I notice too when I'm making Ninja Creami recipes is if you don't cut up your fruit too much, I mean, you could toss it in with larger chunks, but what happens is that sometimes the Ninja Creami doesn't make the sorbet super smooth if you have too large sections. So that's why I like to cut up the sections in a little bit smaller. But if you like to have a little bit more of the fruit in your sorbet, that's, you can actually feel the texture, then you may want to have larger pieces. So what I ended up doing is, finishing the recipe, putting in the oat milk, putting in the agave nectar, and then freezing it overnight. And then I used the sorbet function on the Ninja Creami, and then also processed it again with the remix option. So if you want to save a little bit of time or a little bit of electricity from using the Ninja Creami, you can just let your frozen container sit out for a couple minutes before you start processing it, so you only have to press the sorbet option once. And here is the final outcome. Very smooth, very delicious. It almost tastes like an orange creamsicle. It's fully vegan, and I highly recommend it. Let me know what you think, and you can check the description for the recipe. Thanks for joining in. See you soon.